Hate hoax and hush crime. A summary. A hate hoax is any covert act committed by an anti-white in the guise of a white person or people designed to, quote, prove the anti-white narrative. A hate hoax draws the noose of suspicion around the throats of all white people. As a result, hate hoaxes serve to justify previous anti-white inflictions of harm on Western kind, and they serve to justify present and escalating anti-white inflictions of harm on Western kind. What purposes are served when anti-whites commit hate hoaxes? The hate hoax, quote, proves the anti-white narrative. The hate hoax perpetuates the anti-white narrative. The hate hoax spreads the anti-white narrative. And finally, the hate hoax preserves and magnifies the anti-white status quo. What does the perpetration of hate hoaxes reveal about anti-whites? It reveals that anti-whites clearly understand that they need to trick the average white person into believing the anti-white narrative. It reveals that anti-whites clearly understand that they are benefiting from anti-whiteism and the anti-white narrative. And it reveals that anti-whites clearly understand that a magnification of the anti-white narrative magnifies their benefits. That is a chilling reality. To truly understand our victimizer is always a chilling reality. Hush crime. A hush crime is all acts that contradict and or disprove the anti-white narrative by way of victimizing one or more Westmen. Even though the word crime is in the name, it does not have to be a criminal act. Any act that contradicts and or disproves the anti-white narrative by way of victimizing one or more Westmen is a hush crime. Every debunked hate hoax is a hush crime, because a debunked hate hoax inspires disbelief in the anti-white narrative. What purposes are served when anti-whites commit hush crimes? The hush crime is confined to the smallest audience possible, and thereby mitigates the damage done to the credibility of the anti-white narrative. The hush crime perpetuates the anti-white narrative. The hush crime preserves the anti-white status quo. What does the perpetration of hush crimes reveal about anti-whites? It reveals that anti-whites clearly understand that contradictions to the anti-white narrative undermine their ability to inflict harm on us, harm that benefits the anti-whites. It reveals that anti-whites have an inverse moral and ethical structure relative to us, a structure that elevates inflicting harm on Western kind above all virtues. Thus, the opposite of those virtues, iniquitous acts, are desirable in the service of that supreme moral and ethical code of inflicting harm on Western kind. So, deception, cruelty, disloyalty, hypocrisy, selfishness, bullying, inconsideration, discrimination, heartlessness, violence, censoriousness, vengefulness are all acceptable in the service of inflicting harm on Western kind. Again, a chilling reality. Finally, how do hate hoaxes, even debunked hate hoaxes, continue to harm us long after the hate hoax and the debunking? Because the anti-whites in the regime make no real effort to correct the record, and because of the anti-white inverse moral and ethical structure, anti-whites continue to use hate hoaxes as supporting evidence for their myths of pretexts, MIS, moralization, intellectualization, and sentimentalization of pretexts. Hate hoaxes are cited in personal arguments, in essays from elementary school through university, and in doctoral theses. Hate hoaxes are even cited in corporate and governmental policy documents. Make hate hoax and hush crime part of your vocabulary, and you as an individual and we as a people will take another step toward recapturing our destiny.